Please describe the status of the coffee industry in your country.
Right now, as it has always been, coffee is the number one cash crop in Uganda. If you look at the involvement by the population directly, the population that is supported by coffee, all those who are involved in coffee are about 7 million out of a population of 33. And our calculation puts it at 1.2 million households being involved in coffee. So even as a government program for purposes of poverty eradication or poverty improvement, coffee is one of the vehicles that the government is using to uplift households or the population out of poverty. And when we talk about the 7 million, those are the growers, those who are directly involved in the, in coffee growing. But then above, as you go up the chain, the value chain, there are many more who do the trading, many more who do the processing, and those who do the transportation and the export.
What is the contribution of coffee growers to the national economy?
Like, for example, this last coffee year, which ended in September, we produced about 3.5 million bags and exported 3.1. And we fetched close to 450 million US dollars as a commodity. And among the traditional cash crops, it's still number one because it contributes about 20% of our overall export earnings. So it's a very strategic crop.
What can Kenya coffee growers learn from those in your country?
I think it all depends on policy because if you talk about East African community, the issue is about harmonization. As much as like Uganda, we have a liberalized economy, 100% liberalized. We have had a lot of benefits from that liberalization. We have created market efficiencies. The farmer shares the highest, I think, share of the export price in Uganda than I think in any other region, coffee growing region, which has not embraced liberalization. Yet we have seen that there are disadvantages of liberalization in terms of the need to cooperate and work jointly, especially in terms of quality assurance and so forth. So there is a lot to learn from both sides. I will not point out that this particular one, because the successes of liberalization has created, benefits, direct benefits to the farm, and given us a challenge on the other side, but which we have to work upon. Yeah. So I'm not going to point at one specific area, but I think what we have learned is I think the need for more associations, cooperation among the people who are doing the same thing. And if we retain the platform of liberalization, then I think we will definitely, at the point of view of the government or as a regulatory body, which I work for, our work will be made easier.
What challenges did you face as you started up?
It took a little bit time for the farmer to realize the advantages of modern technology. East Africa has been a bit behind in terms of modernization, and mechanization, etc. So they have been using old traditional technologies that were not serving the purpose of the farmer more, but they continue having a very good quality coffee and etc., but at a very high cost to the farmer. So they didn't realize the economic of scales of having modern technology and utilize that in their own benefit, and still having the same or better quality and better yields, etc.
What challenges do SMEs face?
Well, it's happening quite a bit already on people realizing opportunities in value addition and in all these things. But it's taking a bit too long for people to realize the real potential. A lot of people look at the IT and all these new technologies and things, but they are forgetting that there's so much coming from the agriculture that can really revolutionize small and medium enterprises.
How can information technology be useful for businesses?
I see the internet as a great value for the people that are introducing new products, new ideas, their own product into the market. So I think internet can help quite a lot on that.
How does Kenya compare to other countries in East Africa?
Obviously, Kenya is a leader in several aspects, and I believe it's still a leader in agriculture. But Kenya is extremely traditionalist and very difficult to change the mind. So they have a kind of a blockage. So where the other countries are much more flexible to new ideas, new technologies, and so on. So Kenya is much more resistant to change. That is a bad thing. But it is still a powerhouse in several aspects, and the farmers are doing, to an extent, not too bad. But I believe they could double or triple their yields if they would have proper information and also be keen in assimilating new ideas.